Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. Well, I have another In Your Own Words. And this comes from a gentleman that called me up. He's somewhere up towards Asheville, South Carolina, one of those towns before Asheville, which is about 35, 40 miles from here in North Carolina. And he called me and asked me to come for a lesson. His name is Sid Blythe. He's a +3 handicap. And if I recall, he's like about 51 or 2 years old, and he's now playing a lot of these, or maybe even 55 now, I guess, because now most amateurs, their senior division start at 55, and he's still playing really well. And he came for a golf lesson, and in that one, I think because it was the first lesson, he took a 2-hour lesson. Because I usually like to do first lessons always 2 hours, so I'm going to do a lot of videotaping, and I got a lot of things to explain because he'd found some peak performance, but he wasn't deep into it yet. All he knew was that the few little things he tried, he saw a pretty good improvement, so he said, hey, the Surge is only 35-minute drive from me. I need to go down here and see him and, you know, get it straight from the horse's mouth, or whatever term you want to use. So about 2 days after the lesson, he wrote me this letter. He emailed it to me. Thanks so much for spending the time with me yesterday. Oh, it was the next day, despite it being 98 degrees. It was hot. This was right in the heat of the summer. 98 degrees. With no breeze, that's about as hot as I can recall being on a practice range. At 8 a.m., I was on the range hitting balls before work the very next day, and it went really good for the first time. I am really excited to feel like I can take the next step now to be a really good senior tournament player. I have read every instruction book, including the golfing machine, and given quite a few lessons when I was in the PGA apprentice program. But I have never really been about to work with someone who could pinpoint what I needed to tighten up to be a better player. Remember, as you've probably heard me say fairly often now and then, is that basically what I do is I get a lot of people with pretty good golf swings. They're just too loosey-goosey, limp and lazy, and too much movement. I gotta just tighten the screws and get them down to where they're staying still, to keep controlling the spine. And to control the spine, you gotta control the knees. That's what he's talking about. Since I already play a decently high level every time I have tried to get a professional opinion, they usually are afraid to change anything. Let me read that again. Since I already play at a decently high level every time I have tried to get a professional opinion, they usually are afraid to change anything. Why? Because, hey, you're pretty good, so we're going to tiptoe and dance around the problem. And basically what they say is, we're just going to make, and many times they say, we're just going to work with what you got and try to make it better. All right? Now, I have a watered down version of that statement, meaning you can take chicken poop and turn it into chicken salad, but it's still going to be poopy chicken salad. You with me? It's still going to have too many flaws. Sometimes you got to make radical changes, but radical changes might seem radical to a person, but when all they are is cutting down the motion, right? Golf is a game of angles. The fewer the better. He had too many angles. He was moving too much, which was causing his spine to move, his hips to move a little bit too much, and then come back down here, and he didn't have firm enough grip on the club with both hands, consistently on both hands, and he had too much knee movement overall. So all I did was, like I said, I just got out my Allen wrench and started tightening the screws. Again, since I already play at a decent high level every time I have tried to get a professional opinion, they usually are afraid to change anything and don't see the big picture of the level of ball striking I want to achieve. So again, on his part, he goes to them, they tell him stuff, but it's basically been meaningless. It doesn't improve him. His ball striking was too inconsistent for what he felt his talent was. A little bit of thin, a little bit of toe to the toe, heely, a little chubby. Ball starting too far right, just couldn't tighten up his flight pattern tight enough. And hit his consistent the right distance with every club. One of the biggest things about the PPGS is it reduces the variation in club head speed like over 50-60% compared to when you get into rotational swings. So if you could swing the club with more consistent speed and hit good shots, you're going to hit them the same distance or consistently closer to the same distance every time. You won't have a 7-iron going 150 one time and going 160 another time and 142 another time. Yeah, you can flag it, but it's might not be on the green, or it might be over, or it might be short in the front bunker. It's all about hitting the ball solid, but hitting it at a consistent distance. I just wanted to thank you for the knowledge, encouragement, and expertise. I can't wait to get this swing ingrained so I can knock down a lot more pins. See, there it is. He's telling you. His problem was, and that's what blows my mind when I sit here and I watch the LPGA and I watch the PGA and I watch the European PGA and I watch all these professional tournaments, and they're out there and they're standing there with 8 irons to green, and the pin is somewhere middle to back, and they come up 40 feet, 40, 50 feet to the right, 40, 50 feet short, and the guys in the booth are saying, nice shot. Man, I'd be chewing the grips off my club hitting an 8 iron that far offline. Never mind missing the green, hitting the right bunker or left bunker or something. I saw one this morning. I was watching the European Tour. A guy stands there. He had 140 yards or something, and he airmails the green. Airmails the green to a back center pin. It wasn't way back. It was kind of centerish a little bit back. And he never touched the green. Whew, he's down there in La La Land. What happened there? Yeah, he knocked it right over the flag, but it was waving bye-bye to the green before it landed. That doesn't do you any good. Good ball striking is hitting the ball consistently solid, relatively straight where you want it to go, and hit it the right distance. And here's a guy, +3 handicap. That's what his problem was. He had the essence of a good golf swing. We just had too much motion. Too much in this stuff. Got this here to there, boom, solid and straight. That's what PPGS will do for you, no matter what your level is. And all certified instructors are not scared to go in there and tell you the truth about your swing and start making what a lot of people will call big changes, but they're really minor changes, because all we're doing in most cases is just getting you back set up properly. If you're out of posture or whatever, we're going to get you correct, get you wide, and then just give you the wide knees out with pressure, 3/4 swing, and you're on your way. As you all know, PPGS works. This is good proof of it from a finally good player, a really good player here. Okay, well, that's it for the Swing Surgeon today on how quickly you can learn the PPGS and keep yourself in tune. So keep thinking about what you need to do and keep working on it and getting it fine-tuned, and you'll find that you'll be hitting more solid straight and shooting those lower scores. That's it for today, and I'll be speaking with you all again soon.